What's up? My name is Ian. I technically got a huge 7th place today, which sounds worse than I felt like I did today. In summary, I felt pretty good about the day. I just wanted to be a really hard out for everyone, and I never got 2-0'd. So I took a game from every single person here, and played 24 games today. In 12 hours, and Cameron highlight was Cameron and I's game 1 was crazy. It was like 45 minutes. At one point I had 12,000 life points, and then game 2 I had 75 life points. It was just one of those days. It was really cool.
Wow.
So anyways, just a brief. Felt pretty good about the deck, how it did.
What were we playing?
Everyone. This is Prank Kids. One of 2 Prank Kids today. So I did kind of the standard 3 of everything. 3 of all these, and then I did 3 Ash, 2 Valor, and 2 Ghost Ogre. I had 3 and 3 for Ash and Valor, and then per recommendation from Brennan, he said 2 Ghost Ogre, which were fine. I think I resolved it, and so it worked. Yeah, it was a nice versatile lineup. I think the hand traps that everyone else was using, I don't think anyone else actually used Ghost Ogre. So I think if I was using the other ones that you guys were using, it'd be better. Like, you guys picked the better ones. But it worked fine. And then main decked 2 Parallel Exceed, which won me games, a couple games. Super good card. I think 2 was fine. You want to see it more with 3, but I did. The one time I sided in the 3rd, I drew 2, and or something like that, so I lost. And then I main decked 1 Prankertops, or Pankertops, not Prankertops, just in this deck.
Pranks.
All the pranks.
I felt like even going, I never really drew it going first, but I just felt like it was too strong of a card in testing to just side it in. So I main decked it. I felt like it was a really free, strong card. For the spells, 3 of the field spell, basically 4 extra copies of any Prank Kid, super good. I ran 3 Pandemonium. No polymerization or anything, and just want the 1 pranks, which I thought was fine. It's nice to run 1, but that's kind of all that's needed potentially. And then a bunch of 1-ofs, Instant Fusion, Called by the Grave, Monster Reborn, World Legacy Succession, and Upstart Goblin. I run 40 cards, so I felt like the extra draw was basically, these are just extender. Really, all those are extender cards. You kind of have to run this card because it's the best card around. I felt like if I got hand trapped, having 4 cards that allowed me to do something else, if there was either a monster negate on board or something, it just allowed me to play the game, which is fun. And then 1 plan, which is something different potentially than the other Prank Kid in the tournament, but I felt like 1 was fine. I did draw it once going first, which kind of stinks, but it is really nice. It can kind of save you, keep you in the game. So I felt like 1 was appropriate. And then 3 Judgment.
Beautiful.
I think it did the most work for me today, honestly.
Judgment sucks.
I double judgmented Brennan in 1 turn, which was cool. And then I just came in. It just stops like anything. Very rarely did I draw it and feel like, oh bummer, I drew Judgment, even if I was going first. So I thought that was a good call to main deck 3. And then my 1 spice was a Magic Cylinder in the main deck.
Yes.
So I resolved it once against Cameron and did 2K to him for free, and still lost that game, I'm pretty sure. But it was fun. He was just like, attack, and I was like, Magic Cylinder. And he freaked out a little bit. So that was worth it. Extra deck is 3 of the cat, 3 of the Dodo Doodle Doo, and then 1 Bow Wow Bark, 1 of everything else. So 1 Battle Butler, 1 Weather Washer, and 1 Rocket Ride. This really just gets everything going. With the Monster Reborn and extenders, like, this is what's going to get me some type of play. And I didn't feel the need to have a second one of any of these all day, actually. So this was probably the good call. And then non-Prank Kids, Access Code, Unicorn, and Phoenix. I realized that having versatility so that I could have some peace of mind if I got into a situation where I couldn't do Prank Kid stuff would probably be good. Access Code did win me games. The card is really good. Unicorn and Phoenix. I don't think I made Unicorn, but I felt that having generic 4, 3, and 2 was just it helped me just like, okay, if I get into a bind, I can go into something, hopefully. And then the last 2 were Dweller and Toad. I think I did summon Toad like once. Dweller wins games, so.
No.
And then side tech's a little wonky. I still sided the Rip Roar and Roaster. I probably wouldn't do that. It is good. It's just hard to take out anything in the extra deck. So I just don't think it's worth siding in the extra card. A third Veiler lost me a game, so I would never do that again. I drew 2 and it was terrible. Not Scythe. Lancia proves how much this side deck is good. Never came up. I don't think it's really good against many people actually, but if it came up, a third Exceed also lost me a game. My side deck kind of, I guess, sucked in hindsight, but I didn't feel like it hindered me that much, honestly. I think the situations where I drew the second Exceed, that was just the most unfortunate time. When I opened 2 Veiler, it was against you actually, Jacob,
that's right,
and you happened to whatever that card is, Dimension Shifter.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So it would have been fine actually, but it just didn't. So that's fine. Wonder Geki kind of came up. 2 Twin Twister was a good card. 3 different Dimension Ground. I think would have been good. I never resolved it, but I think it would have been good if I had drawn it. That with Judgment would have won me a lot of games. And I'll still show this off, even though it's just tragic. But 3 red reboot is totally illegal. I never sided it in, so it never was a thing. But yeah. Overall, I feel like I played really consistent and really executed on what I wanted to do, and my overall game record was like 13 and 10. So I went positive, even though I was 4 and 5. And I think that was all I wanted.
Any shout outs or anything like that?
Any shout outs? Oh, I guess shout out to Brennan for Ghost Ogre. Shout out to
Thank you.
I think that was it.
DN.
Oh, DN for D's nuts.